How do we deal with not feeling so discouraged from mistakes? And I think we can do this by first clearing up what mistakes really mean through these different points. First is really understanding that the world is a much more flexible place than you think. Pay attention to its potential paths.
And he said, why not? Go for it. And then if it doesn't work out, you come back, you finish your PhD, which I'm still planning on doing. But anyway, no big deal. Just give it a shot.
When we think of mistakes, we think wrong. And now we have to go back to the right path. But mistakes is really just a different path. Let's say you just spend 5 years of your life just having fun, but just suddenly realize that it feels really meaningless. It might feel like you really wasted your time, but life is just as about figuring out what you don't want as it is about figuring out what you do want. That's a tongue twister. Like for instance, the people that have survived like a near-death experience, like a car crash or something, they value their time with their family that much more. For you, you have been on the other side. You know what it felt like to live a meaningless life. And now you want to pursue something that doesn't reflect that. And now you'll treasure your time more than anyone else because you know how it felt to lose them. And as a little cherry on top, I think this is just me. Right now, the current definition of a job is really changing. 20 years ago, it's almost unthinkable for people to think like you can have a job playing games and having a bunch of people watch you. And on top of that, with the disruption of AI in all different industries, there are more new opportunities than you think. And AI becomes like this great leveler between all the different skills that you can have. And you can use it essentially to support your weakness and make up for lost time. If you're looking to become someone that's more independent and mature, hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. Next is remembering that the side effects of the journey is just as rewarding. Watch this clip here.
Go after a more ambitious goal, even if you fail to achieve that one, all the side effects that come along the way can be that much more rewarding and significant.
Most people don't see mistakes as rewards because they don't really dig for it. I want to ask you, when was the last time that you have really reflected on your mistakes? Don't tell me detention in high school. If they don't have it, they should bring it back. And when you're reflecting on your mistakes, a lot of it isn't just focusing on your regret and guilt, but in altering history. A lot of people, they just don't do this because they just want to get it over with and just move on from it. So they miss all the gold. For instance, if you reflected on all the times that you have procrastinated, was there a common trigger? And if you found that trigger, if you replay the scenario again, what would you change? And then think about it. If you change this one single trigger, it can save you frustration, time, growth. If that's not gold, I don't know what is. And if I were you, I would be looking for my mistakes because mistakes help you so much. Next is shorten your mistake cycle. Watch this clip.
But it's important to fail quickly. Having decades, tens of billions of dollars is not a good way to fail quickly. Hoping to get a lot of learnings along the way.
Look, you were never meant to stop at a mistake. I mean, it's really a part of a cycle. You try something new, you make a mistake, you learn something, and then you improve. And if you're not going through the cycle, you're really playing this game wrong. And if you never completed the cycle of like trying to get a lesson from it and then learning to improve, you will feel depressed. But if you completed it, instead, you'll feel more confident and motivated. For instance, if you figure out that the reason that you get distracted really easily and keep reverting back to your old habits was because you started way too late in the evening. All you have to do is switch to an earlier time when you have more willpower. If you go through this and you improve, not only will you not feel depressed, you'll actually feel more motivated to keep on going. Last is, mistakes and failures really helps you focus on the trade-offs.
Forces you to make real trade-offs about what actually is really important and things that you might have held very dear. Maybe that's not really the key thing.
Every time you're doing something, essentially what you're doing is a trade-off. You're trading time and energy for a better body. You're trading time on your phone for learning how to budget. And mistakes happen when there's a bad trade. And a lot of this is really about prioritizing. Let's say you're working out and you just got an exciting news that there's a really cool game that's coming out. So you work out faster, you cut it short so you can check out what this game is about. It might not seem like a bad deal, but in your mind, you know you just made a slightly bad trade. But in this example, it's actually kind of good because you do realize the value of working out and you didn't completely ditch it. But you still hold on to that excitement from that video game. And this shows that you're slowly gaining more self-control over yourself. So next time, you might be able to focus on what's really important, like the workout. Finish it, and then do what you need to do. And eventually, you can make much better decisions because now you can see just exactly what you're trading off in each decisions and make sure that you're actually making a good trade. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments and I'll talk to you in my next video.